This is a Fonzie Studio podcast. Welcome to Tales from the First Nations. I'm Jay Idle, and every week I'll share with you a tale and ancient wisdom of the native tribes of North America. I'll be joined by my cats, Dawa and Fonzie, who will undoubtedly make their presence known at some point, so I might as well just list them as co-hosts. We hope you'll enjoy the tales and wisdom, raise your vibration, and enrich your life with us every week. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the 24th episode of Tales from the First Nations. I'm your host, Jay Idle. I'm really excited to share another Hopi story with you today, because as much as I love all the stories from all the nations that I read and share, there's something about the Hopi stories that feel more special and meaningful to me personally. So I'm quite excited to talk to you today about Grandmother Spider, Kokyang Wuti. She's beautiful. She's just really, really wonderful. The Hopi Grandmother Spider, or Spider Grandmother, is a very important figure in Hopi mythology. She's often depicted as an old woman or a spider and is considered wise and a nurturing creator. She's so cool. It was she, along with Tawa, the sun god, who created the world and all living things. They crafted humans from clay and breathed life into them, and Kokyang Wuti is credited with giving souls to the creatures she and Tawa created. She also guided the Hopi people through the four winds, or four great caverns, helping them evolve and teaching them essential skills like weaving and agriculture. She led them to their final home, the fourth world, where they settled permanently. Kokyang Wuti is seen as a leader and a wise individual who represents good things. She's often called upon for advice and to provide medicinal cures, and her presence is associated with protection, healing, and the interconnectedness of all things. In today's story, however, from the Hopi Second Mesa, the people, well, they forgot about the blessings that she had given them. Once upon a time, long, long ago, Grandmother Spider lived in a little Indian village called a pueblo. She lived there with her two little grandsons, and they were very happy. Grandmother Spider was friendly with the fairies, and with the sun god, and with the moon man, and all the animals. She used to talk to them, and they helped her to do many things. She did so many things which the other Indians did not understand, that they called her a witch, and drove her with her two little grandsons out of the village. Outside, she built a little mud house where she and her little grandsons lived happily. For the fairies and the kind old sun god brought them food to eat. Soon after the Indians drove Grandmother Spider out of the pueblo, a huge man-eater came to live near there. Whenever the men went out to hunt game or to gather wood, or whenever the women or children went to fill their jars with water, the man-eater caught them and swallowed them alive. Now, the poor Indians began to cry and to sing songs while they beat sad music on their drums. They did not know what to do. If they stayed inside the pueblo, there was no cornfields, no buffalo, no deer, no rabbits, and no squashes. They would surely starve to death. And if they went outside the village, the man-eater would swallow them alive. One day, the Indian chief remembered what wonderful things Grandmother Spider used to do before the Indians drove her from the pueblo. So he decided to take presents to her to see if she could not help them out of their trouble and drive the man-eater away. Well, the next day, he made a ball and two little bows and arrows, and he took them out to the grandsons of Grandma Spider. When old Grandmother Spider saw the arrows, she was pleased, and she asked the kind fairies to rub magic on them so that the arrows might kill all things that harmed her little boys. That same afternoon, her grandsons were out playing with their bows and arrows slung over their shoulders. They were playing with the ball outside their mud house when one of them threw the ball too high for the other to catch, and it bounced away off onto the prairie. They both ran after it as fast as they could. Each one was trying to see who could catch the ball first. They didn't know until it was too late that they were running right up to the spot where the man-eater was. They stopped running and turned around, but before they could get away, the man-eater opened his big mouth and swallowed them down. And down there in the man-eater's stomach, they found all the other people he had swallowed, still living and crying to get out. The two grandsons drew their bows and shot their magic arrows right through the man-eater's heart. The man-eater opened his mouth and yelled just like thunder, and then he fell over dead. The grandsons and all the people inside came out and returned to their homes. All that night, the Indians beat their drums fast and danced and sang their happiest songs, for the mean old man-eater was dead and could not trouble them anymore. As humans, we tend to have that sort of, "but what have you done for me lately?" mentality, which can be extremely unfortunate because there have been so many sacrifices made for us by a lot of those who love us. We should always remember and value those sacrifices and moments of love from those that we care about, because we wouldn't be where we are without them. It's with respect and gratitude that I thank you for joining me on my journey and on this podcast. I wish you well and look forward to sharing another story with you next week. Go in peace, return in peace, and may you be well. Our main story today comes from Tay-Tay's Tales, collected and retold by Elizabeth Willis D. Huff. For more great stories and legends, check out the Jaguar Bird channel on YouTube. There's a lot of really wonderful content on there. And of course, you can join me here next week for another story on Tales from the First Nations. I'm Jay Idle, and I will talk to you next time. The beautiful music that you're listening to right now was created by my dear friend Scott Brocklesby, and our podcast image was provided by Mark Lawton. We will see you next time. All right, that's it. How'd we do, Dawa?
Awesome.
Phones? Excellent. Then I'll share it.